Hey guys, this is Matticus, and I'm here with my beautiful friend. What's your name, babe?
Kalli Grace.
Kalli Grace, nice to meet you.
Nice
How's your
to
day?
meet you too. Pretty good. How's yours?
It's great so far. We're getting through all you great content performers today.
And it's nice because you're not in the humidity of outside. It is disgusting out there right now.
We had planned to be outside, and we might venture outside a little later, but we're going to stay inside where it's cool.
For the time being.
Yeah, so thank you for making space for us.
Not a problem.
So we're going to jump into our first question here, and it's a hard one. We were curious, do you know your body count?
Oh my God. No. God, no. Absolutely not. I could guess, or range.
What are we thinking range-wise?
Oh my God. Between just being a slutty younger person and then getting into porn later into life. Okay. I would say, oh my God. It would be 500 plus at this point. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
that's an easy range.
I was thinking a little higher, but
it could be. It honestly could be too. I'm trying to give myself credit.
You're a little modest, yeah. I like that.
I'm demure. Okay.
Yeah. How long have you been in the industry?
Off and on since 2021.
Off and on?
Yes.
Since you got out. What?
Well, I mean, I feel like every person that says off and on has a couple of reasons why they get out, and mine is one of those reasons. I dated somebody for a period of time who did not like me being a sex worker, so I tried to do the thing where I was like, I can be a good partner, I can do this, I'm not fulfilled by doing sex work. Yeah. But in reality, it is something that fulfills me so much. It scratches a creative itch. It scratches an exhibitionist itch. So for me, it was just the logical jump back in. So I took about a year and some change break.
Do you feel like I hope this is not too personal, but did the relationship end because you wanted to go back into content creation, or you're just the relationship's over, I'm going to return?
It was over. I was like, what can I do to get back immediately? I was sending emails.
Hey,
I was
guys.
like, hey, I was like, I know I haven't talked to you in a while and I kind of ghosted you, but do you want me to come back?
Guess who's back?
And it was nice because all of the companies that I've worked with, I did have a great relationship with. So they did welcome me back with open arms. So it's been an easy transition back into it for sure.
So you're working with some production companies. Oh, you're one of the luckier ones.
I do mostly studio stuff. I do OnlyFans because it's just extracurricular sex with hot people that you're friendly with. You basically go on vacation with each other and then have great sex and make good connections.
Well, that's what this is, the content house, right?
Yes.
You guys are out here on this beautiful ranch together. I love that. So you're working with studios. You're one of the more lucky ones. And do you usually sleep with people outside of the studio, or?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I'm
open-minded?
very, very healthy sexual appetite.
Okay.
I'm just I want sex outside of it. I'd love to be one of those people that has a content partner that's their partner, and then you get to film with them, but then they also have their career, you have your career. There's no this is wrong, I just want to go out and fuck and have an open relationship because you get to fuck because of your work. It's a very I still crave sex even after work, and I feel sometimes more I'm horny after a shoot. Because a studio shoot, you don't get to fuck.
You're not really there.
Exactly. You're not really there. There's so many things that you have to think about, and then sometimes when the camera turns off, that's when you just have the best sex afterwards.
Okay. Too. Yeah. So are you professional? Are you top or bottom?
I'm a bottom.
Okay, and then even in your personal life?
I'm a bottom, yeah.
Okay, all the way.
I'm just I got into porn because I like doing it, so I don't force my body to do anything that my body doesn't naturally do. So for me, the fact that I have a dick is it's the hood ornament for a car, basically. It's beautiful and it serves its purpose, and people want to see that, but for me, it's it's not the engine of my car that keeps it running. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're I'm not getting fulfilled after the shoot. I need to go again and again
exactly.
and again. Yeah.
Totally.
Have you worked with any gay for pay models?
Yeah. I mean,
how's that experience?
I mean, I think it's fine. Yeah. Most people nowadays are so sexually ambiguous anyway that they're just I'll try anything once. Yeah. In this industry, we get asked to do such random stuff because the fans want to see such specific random things. So you kind of find yourself in other things that you like through the process too. Yes. I've definitely done that for sure.
Okay, so you touched on what fans want to see. What's something what's the craziest thing a fan's requested for you to do?
Oh my God. Well, today I just filmed, this isn't so crazy, but a fan today asked me to act like his wife who just cheated on him.
Okay.
But he wanted to be just humiliated and like told all the details and be like,
that's his fault.
Yeah, that's all his fault. And it's just like, I needed to go find a real man. Like, and it was, I'm not that kind of person naturally. Like, I'm not the femdom, but it's just kind of fun to play pretend for a little bit.
To get into it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got into it a little bit too much. I scared myself.
Well, I'm sure, yeah. How do you do it? Like, is it over message or you get on the phone? Or you're
over
like,
messages. Okay, that was the easiest.
A little easier, yeah.
A little easier.
Yeah. So is that the craziest thing you've endured?
Absolutely not. I mean, I've been fucked with food. I've been in my personal life. I've like fucked myself with popsicles, so that's great.
Oh, that's a new one.
That's a new right.
One. It sounds like a good idea.
Play.
Actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just hard. You can't use real popsicles. You have to like basically make a mold out of ice because a real popsicle is gonna trial and error. I've tried it a few times. I've broken every popsicle off inside.
Oh no!
It just gets like too warm too quick and then snaps.
To wait for it to melt out.
And then you wait for it to melt out. Yeah, exactly.
Because it's gonna take it.
It's gonna take it. Exactly.
That's why they have bases on the toys because it's gonna. I didn't realize that your ass will suck shit up there, right? It's not coming back. It's not coming back
again.
Never to be seen. Yeah, got a sugar high all of a sudden because your popsicle got absorbed.
People are boofing popsicles now.
That's funny.
It's the next craze.
Is there anything that you wish that you knew before you got started in the industry?
Popsicle.
The popsicles
exactly, the
right.
popsicles will break off.
Make your own popsicles, guys.
I would say that you have to be forgiving of your body.
Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be a want to push and push and push yourself to make as much content and put as much work out as possible. But the thing is when our jobs are our human bodies and we can't rely on them fully to be perfect all the time. Like, we need mental health breaks. We need, like, physical breaks. We need to have, like, sick days and stuff like that because I wish I would have known that sooner because I pushed myself really quickly and I thought that if I stopped doing something immediately, that people would just forget that I existed, and it kind of made it feel like a burned out feeling.
Like what?
Like, it was just like it didn't have like a motivation to do other stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like even hard to make the content. And then I took my long extended break and then I came back and I started doing things because I wanted to do them.
Just took your time.
Exactly. I took my time. I like found peace with myself. So it's just like reading the cues of your body. Just be kinder to yourself and your body. Yeah,
absolutely. You got to take care of your body. So what's your
water?
What does your structure look like? Are you like posting on a very frequent basis, or do you post on every Tuesday, or like how do you push yourself and keep yourself motivated?
I'm the most lackadaisical kind of person ever. Like, I'm a Taurus too, so I'm incredibly lazy and I'm incredibly stubborn. So if I'm at home and I'm just like chilling, the last thing I want to do is like make content. So I have to like force myself to be like, no. Like, you have this time set aside to do this work.
Yeah.
Do this work.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at yourself later.
That's tough. That's still tough though.
But I'll post every single week. Like, I'll have stuff lined up and then it's easy to just shoot out. Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah. I see a lot of people get started. They just put a lot of pictures up there and they just like let it go. Obviously, you're here today at the Content House, so like that's not something that you do, obviously, right? You're making more content for your fans.
Exactly.
So tell me, have your parents seen your videos? And how do they feel about it?
They haven't told me they've seen them. I told my dad I do adult work because it's funny, I have such a closer relationship with my dad than I do my mom.
Really?
And my dad was never like that when I was younger. He was freaked out when I came out as a little gay boy.
Okay.
He was freaked out when I came out as a trans woman, but he always comes around and like comes to terms with things. So he's like, you're my child. I love you regardless. I may not understand fully what's going on, but you're still my child and I love you. And I thought it was like kind of wrong for me to hide what I was doing so like full time. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And one day I was like sitting down, coffee, and on the phone with him, and I said, you know what, Dad? I'm just gonna tell you, I do porn.
Yeah.
And it was like silent on the other line for a second, and he was like, oh, well, do you make good money?
Oh.
And I said, yeah, actually pretty damn good for some shoots. And he said, well, okay, well, I guess I don't have to really worry about you then. And I was like, okay, cool. He just wanted to make sure that I was being able to feed myself and everything, that it wasn't like I'm destitute. This is the only thing I have going for me. But Yeah, he knows for sure.
Yeah.
I know my mom, we're at this weird stage in our relationship where it's like we're coming back together, but neither one of us want to address the elephant in the room. So we'll get there eventually. But
hopefully, yeah.
she just got over me being trans.
Okay.
So that took 5-6 years. So now we're finally having full conversation. So people can like change. You just sometimes have to give them time.
So I'm curious to know, like, you're obviously like choosing to be trans and going through that transition is quite like a hard thing to do. I feel like you probably lose a lot of friends through it, family through it. How did you manage to make it that 6 years while your mom was having trouble trying to accept that?
It's so funny because when I started my first shot of hormone replacement therapy before everything shut down with COVID.
Oh, okay.
So I got to like transition in peace for like the first few months while everything was shut down, and it was really hard to not have like a family to like rely on because they weren't talking to me, I wasn't talking to them. So on top of like being alone in my apartment and then like the mood swings and the anger of just being like, why can't they accept me? Why can't they understand that this is the decision that I needed to make for me? It was hard, but it actually made me a much stronger, understanding person now. I was so angry at the beginning of my transition. I was going through so many mood swings and stuff, and I didn't understand what was happening fully. And now I'm at a point where I don't take any hormone replacement like therapy. Like I'm just live my life naturally, authentic trans woman, and I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Like nothing gets me down anymore.
That's amazing. That's so amazing to hear that.
Because there's no shit that's harder than the shit that I've already gone through. Like rejection, easy. Like the personal issues, easy. I'm just like, it's this water off the duck's back mentality that it's just like, this thing is not going to be the thing that wrecks me because I've already been through that bullshit. So
yeah, that's great. That's great. I know you guys go through such a tough battle. It definitely have a special place in my heart.
Some people do, some people don't. Some people have family that just like love and accept them right away.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a beautiful, amazing thing. And those people are so lucky. And I wish we all had that experience. But sometimes we do need to have that struggle of just like, because you have the opportunity to change somebody's mind who before would have just been anti-trans their whole life. Now they have the opportunity to learn and they can grow, and hopefully that makes people better as a whole.
So you don't have to speak to this if you don't want to, but I'm curious to know how you feel about children having the right to go through trans therapy at a younger age, under 18.
I think that, I mean, I wish I would have had the opportunity or like had the knowledge to know that I was trans so much earlier. And I think that the earlier that kids know, it's beautiful. And if surgery is right for you, it's right for you. If a child wants surgery and the parents are okay with it, and I just only have an issue because I just don't want somebody to regret something later in life. Because you can know so well who you are at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and then 10 years later you could be somebody completely different. And it's just like at that point you're like, you've gone through major surgeries, like you've altered the way your body looks, and maybe you don't feel comfortable in that body anymore. And I do know some people who start the transitionary period and they're like, oh fuck, I'm not trans anymore. And they've already gotten their hips done. They've already like gotten like facial like feminization, and then they're just like, okay, I guess I just like convert back to my old lifestyle. And it's just not for everybody. I think people need to be careful and like sit down and have a nice think about things. Everyone's so quick to just change their life overnight. And it's not like that. At all.
I actually have a good amount of trans friends in my life, and I have one in particular that I can remember just here recently, and he was beginning his journey to transition into a woman, and she was starting to go through the therapies and the changes and everything, and then talked to me kind of privately, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But the thing is, like, they said that they had told everyone already that they didn't know how to go back on it. Like they felt like they promised everybody to make this change. I was like, it's never too late to turn back.
And it's never, like, for anybody out there, it's never too late to start your transition, to end your transition. If it's just like, for me, I feel like I don't need any surgery because I just love my body as is. But if the surgical journey is for people, there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, we express ourselves however we want through our body. Like, tattoos, piercings, like, if you want to body modify it, and more fucking power to you.
More the power to you.
More power to you. Because listen, if I had the money to, like, do stuff, I would definitely. But it's like, what's more important to me?
Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry, I got really heartfelt for that one. So like that one really jumped in. So tell me, if you weren't in the business of adult content creation, what would you be doing?
So I went to school for musical theater.
Really?
Yes, and I have like my goal after I step away from the industry, I want to do full-time stand-up comedy.
Okay.
Huge. I'm like obsessed with it. I comedy write all the time. Like most of my scenes when I go to studios are like ideas I've made and like I've pitched them, or they're like, what do you feel like doing today?
Okay.
Because I love to just like ad lib. Like I shoot a lot of VR porn.
Okay.
And that's the best because
that's so new.
You have just like a meat sack man who doesn't say anything or doesn't push the storyline at all. The responsibility is fully yours. You do all the talking. You do all, like, the focus is you. Yeah. And it's so much fun because I'm basically just like, okay, how am I going to make myself entertained with this?
That's so cool.
So definitely comedy, like comedy writing. I also like, I'm a freelance makeup artist as well. Okay. So I just have I wear a lot of hats. Yeah. So once I step away from this, there'll always be.
You've got a lot of opportunities.
Exactly.
You're good to go.
Exactly.
So when you were, say, like around 10 years old, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
I always thought I was going to be a performer. I thought I was going to be on like Broadway or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I was nowhere near as good of a dancer or a singer as I told myself that I was. And then I went to school with people who were legitimately good. And I was like,
no. Did you figure it out on your own, or did someone break it to you?
Oh no, I figured it out on my own. I'm very self-aware. When it was like my friends were like, "We're going to this audition, but it's a tap audition," and I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, and that's just in your repertoire. I was like, I haven't tapped since I was like 6 years old. I was like, I'm gonna get up there and tap to "I Love a Parade." I don't think so.
Yeah. That's funny. That's cool. Who's your dream collaboration?
Oh my God. Dream collaboration. I actually just had my dream collaboration, which was Roman Todd. Oh. And I just shot with him for Trans Angels. So now my dream collab
would a new one.
Definitely be Owen Gray.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Like, he's the number one person that's just like always going to be at the top of my list. And then I've been watching gay porn since I was like 12. So I have like an affinity for gay porn stars that I grew up with. And there's a porn star named Girth Brooks who just made his return after like a long retirement. So I'm like, that's on the list too.
You're like, hey, what's up?
I'm headhunting, honestly.
How do you set up your collaborations? You like slide in the DMs or?
Slide into the DMs. Yeah. Like I'm a very social person. Like I love people. Like I'm the dog at the party that's just like, oh my God, a new person's here. Let me say hi. And it won't hurt my feelings if people are like, oh, actually I don't work with girls, or like I haven't thought about working with trans girls yet. But it's like, but it's nice to know that option's there. Right. And if they say no, they say no. If they say, you never know who's going to say yes. You got to shoot that shot.
Yeah.
Because who knows? You could have missed an opportunity.
Absolutely. Take that opportunity.
All about taking opportunities.
I feel like I'm just guessing here, but I assume that you're probably rejecting more people than you're getting rejected by. And
I don't know. I swing for the fences sometimes. Like I like to aim for leagues way above mine. So I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Like obviously I get it. But I guess I do my fair share of rejecting. Yeah. I just hate rejecting people.
How do you handle a rejection when you're rejecting someone else?
It's usually along the lines of,
I have a boyfriend.
And they're like, okay, I see you steady posting constantly with other people, but all right. I usually like tell people that I'm taking like a little bit of a break, or I'm not actively seeking collabs right now.
So you leave them with hope.
Listen, because who knows? Like maybe one day there will be hope.
You might be beautiful later on. I might be attracted to you at another point.
I might like find that I'm like, because that happens with girls sometimes. Like I will collab with women, cis women and trans women, but my main focus and attraction is men. So like a lot of times with girls, it'll be like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Once I get to know you and like we're on like a friendly level, like I'll definitely be able to feel a sexual chemistry.
Okay.
But like
you need that connection.
I need a connection.
Yeah.
Like,
is that demisexual?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm very much that way, and that's how I am like in and out of porn. Like I like to get to know the people that I'm shooting with.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're fucking each other at the end
I
of
thought
the day.
you said
We can
you
be
didn't have like
friends.
an intimate connection, but I'm starting to think that you might.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are there some of them that you're like, ooh.
Some of them, yeah. Sometimes I feel like the sex is so good, you're like,
this is real.
this is real. And then you look up and there's 6 camera people just like looking at you, and you're just like,
not real, not real.
You got 2 more minutes. And it's like, okay, thank you.
What's the big difference from studio work and OnlyFans work for you?
Studio work for me
You said a lot of camera people.
Sometimes there's like, you can have a crew of like 6 people. Sometimes you can have a crew of like 1 person, like a camera person and you and the talent. And they can be really small, but I feel like the difference between that is I don't want to say professionalism, but some people just like when they're making OnlyFans stuff, they're not so cautious of your time. Like they're like, okay, come to my house. Now I have to start getting ready once you get to my house. And like we have to start setting up. And me, I've always run on like a schedule that's just like you're either 10 minutes early or you are late all the time. And people are so shocked because they're like a bottom who shows up 10 minutes before the call, like you're ready to go. And it's like, baby, I've been ready for like 2.5 hours.
Go.
Like I was just like at my house watching America's Next Top Model waiting for you.
I'm in the mood.
Exactly. And some people don't like studio sets because it is like taking away a little bit of your like freedom a little bit. Like you have to listen to the so many other heads, and like you're just like a puppet to be played with a little bit. And I'm okay with that.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
love
fun.
that. Like they bring you
What do you want me to do?
Exactly. Like I'm just like, what's the best possible, like they set up the lights, they put you in the best possible lighting. They like take your pretty girl pictures.
All
like
your
they
angles.
want to make you look the best possible.
Yes.
And it's fun to have that focus, have you be the focus. And it's just like, this shoot was orchestrated around me being here and getting fucked.
I feel that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fun feeling. And then they're like, they give you a check, pay you that day, and it's like, send you on your way.
You don't have to clean up. You don't have to break down.
You don't have to do the editing. You don't have to do the marketing for it. Like, those studios will do all the marketing themselves. And it's like, you can push it, and that's just going to make the views higher on the sites, which is awesome. So it's a win-win.
That sounds like a win-win. So our last question is how do we find you on social, and why should people follow you?
You can find me on all social media at theekalligrace, Grace, the with 2 E's. That's literally everything. That's X, Instagram, all over. OnlyFans as well. Make it easy. I'm just like, not to sell myself. I'm a natural trans woman who is demisexual, pansexual. Like, I'm not afraid to explore my sexuality. And I just like having fun. I don't take my content overly stuffy serious. And I think that, like, the fans that I do have really can tell. So I'm a lot of fun. I'm going to provide some laughs. I'm going to provide a lot of cum shots for you. So follow me.
Awesome. Definitely follow. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
We appreciate
much.
you.
Appreciate it.